What's going on, man? Woo! My name's Albi Rasta for albino. Yeah, man. Mr. Steve hired me. Well, he kinda hired me. He only pays me sandwiches. Well, actually, Miss Megan makes the sandwiches, but Mr. Steve, he give me sandwiches for working. Well, not working so much. I just kind of stay around if he needs something or something, man. That's cool. I like sandwiches. Yeah, man. Alright, as if I don't have enough problems.
A little bit lower, Dad.
We found another Starship.
Yeah.
We're calling this one SN2. That's what I'm talking about. Back up.
This is Clark Pinto is a new ice cream truck.
Hey, Mr. Steve, man, what are you doing? So I've got this electric steering box out of a Toyota Prius. Where is it? Here it is. This is a motor. Plugs into a control unit, and when you turn, the sensor recognizes that you're turning, kicks on the motor, and assists the steering. Alright, I got the steering control module hooked up. See that? Isn't that cool? Anyway, so it works. Hopefully it all works out and it doesn't kill me. That's what I'm really hoping for, that it doesn't kill me. I think it'll work though. We'll see. And if I didn't, I just completely wasted all my time and I'll have to go to a power steering unit. I got the steering box out here from the original unit, and I've got it all disassembled. I re-greased it, I tightened up the slop that was in it, and I'm about to cut this steering shaft. And what I'm going to do is weld in some little U-joints here, and we're going to fit this electric unit under the floor where that steering box mounts. Ta-da! Here it is. So I cut the tube from the original steering shaft, and I cut the inner rod as well. I welded in this U-joint to the steering rod. It actually bolts loose here, so if I need to, I could take the control motor off. And then this is the original spline section here, which I cut that section off of the Toyota and I welded it to the Chevy steering rod. I don't get it. Alright, so here's what we're doing. Made a new bracket, and I decided not to use the original Toyota plate. I made a 1/4 inch thick plate. So that's how it all goes together right there. There's our U-joint. Steering box is in. Goes through the floorboard with clearance, and this will turn freely. Move that guy. Do you think it's gonna work, man? I think it'll work. Let's put it all back together. Look at all this great stuff that came with the truck. Straight out of the early 80s. Found a whole bunch of paperwork that's got 1978 on it. It belonged to a fellow named Terry White. I guess he was a carpenter. There's lots of carpenter nails and equipment in here, caulk, tools, bunch of junk really, and a pile of books. Somebody knitted as well. Oh, privacy curtain. On the top of the truck it says, "It's better whipped." Hey man, what's going on? How many jobs you got, man? Let's clean up this thing around here, man. Bossman Steve wants all this junk cleaned out of here. Look at this mess. Hey man, what's going on? Get to work, man. Hey man.
Oh.
How many jobs you got, man?
Good. Oh. Yeah. Asian baby doll.
Oh, somebody worked very hard on that.
No one cares.
Oh my
Pretty
goodness,
good dress.
man.
No one cares.
That's why Mr. Steve can't do this, because Mr. Steve can't throw anything away. That's why you guys got to do this job, man. Starship 2, man. That's what I'm talking about. It's bigger. See that? It's like 3-4 feet bigger, man. Yeah. What's going on, man? I'll be here. Since Mr. Steve's not here, I go to tell you what we're doing on the truck. Well, not me so much, mostly him. But we got all the driver's side steering all connected and the shocks on, man. And check this out. We got the shock on this side. We got some lift blocks in there. We got a 1 1/4 inch lift. And Mr. Steve had to make a bracket, man, so to connect the bottom one, because this thing is broken right here. See that, man? That's junk, man. So Mr. Steve made this bracket. Check that thing out, man. That thing is beautiful. And he had to make the bolt longer. See that? You can't really tell, but he made a new bolt and he cut it and he welded it. It's amazing. He's fantastic. That Mr. Steve, I tell you, man, he's the man. He's the man. That's what I'm talking about, man. You know what I'm talking about, man?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Whew. Well, also, man, the roof got painted, man. You see that? But it didn't turn out so good on this one side. So the paint man's gonna come back and he's gonna fix this up this week, man. And then, what's going on? So normally it takes everything that I have to turn this wheel. There it goes. First try. So I wouldn't say it's as smooth as butter, like, you know, like real power steering, but it took it from practically impossible to turn at a complete stop to very manageable. So I'm going to call that a success. And I don't think it broke. So that's also a success. Let's see, next major thing that I need to work out is a freezer. The big freezer that I intended to put in there was an electric freezer. I was going to either run it off of a generator or run it off of shore power. And I even thought that I would be able to run it off an inverter too, but it turns out that the starting amps of the freezer is way too high for inverter. So the freezer plus the air conditioner plus the hot water heater was too much for my generator. So I started looking for a cold plate freezer, and I haven't been able to find one yet. I am considering getting a smaller electric freezer, maybe 2 small electric freezers, and then using the circuit breaker box to alternate back and forth whenever I'm running off of a generator. And then I may actually be able to run one at a time also on an inverter. And that would be a whole lot less expensive than a cold plate freezer, which the cheapest one I've been able to find is $3,000, and it's in Pennsylvania. Freezer is a big deal. Once I get the freezer worked out, then I can figure out what kind of power I need. I'm actually thinking about an Onan RV generator. But if I can use the generator I've got, then that would be even better, which is only 3,500 watts. So we'll see how it all works out. The other big hurdle that I'm facing currently is the commercial kitchen, where the health department comes to inspect everything, and the truck is actually based out of that commercial kitchen. So I've been looking at some different properties, and everything's pretty expensive, and just haven't found anything yet. I want to kind of stay away from the idea of having a storefront, because I don't want to be there 100 hours a week. I just want to run my truck 3 or 4 days a week, and that be that. So that's what's coming in the next couple of months. Freezer, generator. Once the roof is all fixed up, I can go ahead and put my lights on the outside of the truck on the roof and close up the ceiling. That's pretty much the last things I've got to do inside of the truck. All the wiring is already done for the most part, probably 90%. All the plumbing is also probably at about 98%. I just got to connect the water tank and have a drain valve on the outside. But all the plumbing, interior plumbing is run and done. All the sinks are in place. I honestly expected to be done with this in January, but I probably really need another month. And I'm running out of winter time. As far as the ice cream goes, the ice cream's off the chain. I've got a whole bunch of flavors now that I've developed. They're my flavors. A lot of times there's nothing like it, and I'm pretty excited about those. I've been giving it out a lot. There's actually even one old guy here in town. He's been coming by and buying ice cream from me and reselling it. So more power to him. If he could get more than $5 a cup, which is what I'm selling it to him for, then that's okay with me. It doesn't bother me a bit. Anyways, keep an eye out for rosemary caramel pecan. That's a flavor that I developed, and it is just phenomenal. Absolutely amazing. If you've had that, by the way, leave a comment so everybody else knows. Rocky Road off the chain. I know a lot of people have had that. I've been making that for a long time, since the very beginning. Kind of lucked out and accidentally made a great recipe at the very first try with that one. I did make a rum ball flavor where I made chocolate dipped rum balls, and each one of the rum balls is about the size of a maraschino cherry, and then I added those to the ice cream, and that one actually turned out really good too. But it was a ton of work, it really was. So I probably won't be making a lot of that. Anyways, thanks for watching. Sorry that I've taken so long to make a new video. It's a long time coming, probably 3 months since my last video. But that's the progress. Truck's coming. I'm doing what I can. Ice cream's great. I'll be out and running, by the end of spring. Hopefully. Thanks. Hey, Miss Megan!
Oh my gosh.
How's it going, lady?
You're just crazy.
You want to dance?
Yes. Come here, dance on me.
Oh yeah. That's right. Here's a little song I wrote. Let me play
He
it
left
note
a tooth
for
while he
note.
was over here.
Don't worry. Be happy.
Don't worry, be happy now. Have a cow on my head, Nathan's video.
Right on, man. How many jobs you got, man?
That's
What I'm talking about. Where's Mr. Steve, man? I hope you don't find me in here
Don't worry.
messing with his lady.
Dude.
Hey, man.
Evan.
Mr. Steve's not working, man. Mr. Steve's not around. We just jam.